Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for the first webinar in Enlighta's exciting new series, Excellence in Vendor Management. This series is dedicated to bring you insights and best practices from industry leaders focused on optimizing your vendor management strategies. My name is Rohia, and I am the Product Marketing Manager at Enlighta, and I will be your host today. Joining us today for our first webinar in this series is Joel Gouder, a Global Hub's strategic sourcing, partner management, and finance leader at Carrier Technologies. Joel brings over 20 years of extensive experience in strategic sourcing, procurement, finance, and vendor management to his role at Carrier. As a Global Hub partner management and finance leader, Joel says that his passion lies in fostering strong partnerships and optimizing financial strategies to drive growth and success within the industry. Welcome, Joel, and thank you so much for joining us here today. And to add more insights to the discussion, we have Nipun Sehgal, the President and CEO at Enlighta. Nipun is the industry veteran and has worked with various enterprises to help them with vendor performance management and implement governance, risk management. So thank you so much for joining us in this session, Nipun.
Thanks, Rohit.
So today's session is titled Using Vendor Portals to Manage Strategic Partnerships. And this session is going to be an open and free-flowing discussion with Joel and Nipun on how vendor portals can empower procurement professionals and supply chain managers to build stronger and more successful strategic partnerships. So without any further ado, I'm going to direct the first question at Joel. So Joel, we are talking about excellence in vendor partner management. So how would you define an excellent partnership? Like what sets it apart from ordinary vendor partnerships?
Hey, thanks, Roy. So an excellent partnership in vendor management is always characterized by mutual trust or clear communication and always have aligned goals, right? It always stands out from an ordinary vendor partnership through it also emphasizes on collaboration, responsiveness to each other needs, and always a shared commitment to have a continuous improvement in the entire ecosystem is very important.
That's right. Nipun, do you have anything else to add to this?
I would just like to add that many times we've seen that where there is a slightly loose definition of what constitutes excellence, right? Then it's hard to compare vendors across different service categories. So some of the enterprises, they look to have vendor portals with scorecards where there are clear objective criteria through which things like alignment on environmental sustainability, responsiveness, these are measured and reported, right? And that kind of makes it easier to compare vendors, even if they're in totally different domains. You can actually determine who's an excellent partner. And what we have found is that some clients take it one step further, where once they have identified excellent partners, then they give them benefits which other partners don't get.
Joel, you have managed strategic partner relationships across multiple regions. So can you share with us something that has surprised you or something that you had to do differently across these regions?
See, one thing that really surprised me, was the varying cultural nuances, right, and business practices across regions. For example, in some regions, you face-to-face meetings were crucial for relationship building, while in others, virtual communications was more effective, right? And adapting communication styles and negotiation tactics accordingly was essential for success. And additionally, the level of bureaucracy and decision-making process also differed significantly, requiring me to be more patient and persistent in some regions compared to others. Overall, navigating these differences taught me the importance of flexibility and cultural sensitivity, managing strategic partnership across diverse regions. The top three, right, which actually leads to the relationship may fail outright or fail to deliver, which includes more of a lack of clear of communication or misaligned expectation of goals, right? Where partnership factor with there is a lack of alignment between the parties' expectations and objectives. If one party's priorities diverge significantly from the others, or if there is a mismatch in value exchange, right, it can strain the partnership and hinder collaboration. Very importantly is establishing shared goals and regular revisiting them to ensure alignment is essential for a long-term success. The third one, I would say, insufficient commitment and investment, where normally successful partnership requires dedication, effort, and resources from all involved parties. Where when there is a lack of commitment or an investment, whether it be in terms of time, finances, or resources, the partnership is very unlikely to flourish, right? Both parties need to demonstrate a genuine commitment to the relationship and be willing to invest in its growth and development over time.
If you start tracking performance, tracking issues, tracking risks in a system, and then taking the time to actually work through those, I would argue that the things can be rectified, course corrected, if you have early warning indicators. But if you wait till it becomes a serious dispute or litigation or total misalignment, then it could be too late, right? And it's really costly for enterprises to go through a change.
Joel, can you share a time when a strategic partnership didn't go as planned? Like, what were the unexpected challenges that you faced, and what did you learn from it, or how did you pivot it into a learning opportunity?
This was pretty early days, in my role, and very classic example. Let's say a technology consulting firm, right? Let's call it as a techno consultant as an organization entered, into a strategic partnership with a staffing agency to address the increasing demand for specialized technical talent, right? And the goal was to leverage the staffing agency extensive network to quickly fill project specific roles and support the company, the tech consultants growing client base, right? However, there were a lot of unexpected challenges which arose, right? The basic thing which comes is the skill mismatch, right? Despite the staffing agency, assurances of providing highly skilled candidates, which most of the staffing organization does, and the technical consult company found that many of the candidates referred did not possess the specific technical skills or experience required for their projects. This led to delays in project timelines and dissatisfaction among the candidates, right? So the first one was the skill mismatch. Second one was there was a communication breakdown. Okay, Techno Consult and the staffing agency had a different communication styles and expectations regarding candidate selection and placement, miscommunication and delays in relaying project requirements, and candidate feedback resulted in missed opportunities and frustration on both the sides, right? And the third issue was the resource allocation issues. As demand for a specialized technical talent continued to grow, technocals and the staffing agency struggled to allocate sufficient resources to support the partnership effectively, right? Because their skill mismatch is failed, communication breakdown is failed, right? The staffing agency faced challenges in sourcing qualified candidates within the desired time frame. Okay, they didn't achieve their fulfillment period, while techno consultant had limited capacity to provide detailed projects brief and ongoing support. We implemented multiple technical screening tests and interviews to better evaluate candidates capabilities before the placement. Second thing is, as I mentioned, that communication was the major breakdown, right? We streamlined the entire communication channels. Okay, the partnership manager established streamlined communication between technicals and staffing agency, to facilitate clearer and more timely exchange of project requirements, candidate profiles, or a feedback, right? Regular meetings and shared updates helped improve alignment and responsiveness. And as I also mentioned about the training, so this is the third part, which we took an additional step as an investment in training and development, right? Recognizing the importance of the ongoing skills development, and we as an organization and the staffing agency invested in training programs to upskill candidate and align them more closely with Technocon's project needs. This helped bridge the skill gap and ensure a higher quality of talent pool over time. So basically, addressing these challenges collaboratively and implementing proactive measures, right?
So, do you think technology would have helped address those challenges better? Or, like, if so, like if you're using technology, what are the core functions or solution capabilities that you'd recommend enterprises should have?
Yes, of course. Technology could have really helped to address these challenges. Implementing a centralized platform for candidate management or a project tracking would always, have a streamlined communication and collaboration between both the orgs, I would say. Additionally, now leveraging AI or powered skill matching algorithms, right, could have really improved candidate screening and selection, ensuring better alignment with project requirements. A comprehensive solution should include features for real-time communications and candidate assessments or project management and performance tracking to enhance efficiency and effectiveness in staffing partnerships.
Having a platform that can be adapted very quickly for changing needs, that's a key part of it. People often get stuck with expensive tools that they implement, and then if they want to change things or the mergers, acquisitions, it becomes difficult to change. I think that's a core aspect of what clients should be looking for.
Let's say a company wants to elevate their approach to managing strategic partnerships. So, can you elaborate on the potential benefits of using a vendor portal for centralization and collaboration?
Yeah, sure, certainly. So, implementing a vendor portal for centralization and collaboration in managing strategic partnership, uh, it quite offers several potential benefits, right? So, one was what Nipun was, also mentioning about the value leakage, right? And do a performance management for the organization level. Also, streamlining the communication, right? A vendor portal always provides a centralized platform, right, for communication, allowing all stakeholders to easily share information, updates, and document in real time. This actually reduces, reliance on email chains and ensure that relevant parties have access to the latest information. So I would say it also help in improving the transparency by providing visibility into key metrics, project status, and performance data. A vendor portal always enhances transparency in partnership management. This really fosters trust and accountability between partners and facilitates more informed decision making, I would say. Third thing is more of a operational stuff like efficient resource management with a vendor portal. Companies can effectively manage their resources, including personal finances, assets across multiple partnerships. This helps optimize resource allocation, minimize duplication of efforts, and identifying the opportunities for cost savings, right? And also enhanced collaboration is one of the piece which features such as shared calendars, task lists, or project timelines, which enable partners to work together more efficiently towards common goals. This fosters a culture of collaboration and a teamwork, right? And leading to a better outcomes for all parties. I would say overall, a vendor portal provides a comprehensive solution for centralizing partnership management efforts, promoting collaboration, and driving efficiency and effectiveness in strategic partners initiatives.
Should a vendor portal be used for all vendors or only strategic vendors?
Okay, very tricky question. So, the decision to use a vendor portal is for all vendors or only strategic vendors. It purely depends on the organization specific needs, okay, resources and priorities. I would say some considerations like scope of vendor relationship, right? If an organization works with a large number of vendors across various categories and projects, implementing a vendor portal for all vendors may be impractical or unnecessary. In such cases, the focus may be on using the portal for strategic vendors who contribute significantly to the organization's success or having long-term partnership, right? A strategic vendors typically play a crucial role in supporting the key business objectives such as innovation, cost savings, or market expansion. For these vendors, having a dedicated portal can facilitate deeper collaboration, alignment of goals, and more effective management of the partnership. And resource allocation, implementing and maintaining a vendor portal requires resources, right? Including financial investment, IT infrastructure, and personal organization. You need a team, need to assess whether they have the resources to support the portal for all the vendors, or if it is more feasible to prioritize the strategic partners, right? And also if there are any complexity of relationship, right? For example, let's say strategic vendor relationship offer involve complex agreements, joint initiatives, and ongoing collaborations. In such cases, a dedicated portal can really help and streamline communication. Have a proper project management and a documentation sharing. Okay, this enhances the effectiveness of these partnerships, right? Ultimately, the decision should be based on a thorough assessment, I would say, okay, of the organization, looking at the vendor ecosystem, strategic priorities, and capabilities. While a vendor portal can offer a significant benefits for managing strategic partnerships, um, it may not be necessary or feasible for all the vendors, especially those with limited impact on core business objectives.
From a risk management standpoint, on the other hand, it's often not necessarily your strategic partners which cause the risk. It may be much smaller vendors somewhere that are introducing risk. So I would say it's a spectrum. If you're using it for governance and staffing and resource management, just focus on your tier ones and maybe some tier twos. If you're focusing on that along with risk management, right, and your core is, so instead of sending out risk-based questionnaires via email and collecting evidence from all your partners, automate that in the portal itself. Right.
So, looking at the future of strategic partnership management, how do you see the role of AI and machine learning? Like, will it help? And if it does, how?
Whether it is you identifying vendors for some business need, or like what Joel was mentioning, you need some staff and you're vetting candidates automatically based on some AI parameters, or you're doing due diligence, right, against the vendors. So you need to look at, were they involved with litigation? Did they have bankruptcy? Did they have some negative, did they have privacy data breaches? All of this, AI can, and with AI, with the available data now, you can actually do a lot, and you can bring that very easily to the right stakeholders, right? Then you go one step further, right? And like what we are doing, like when we do risk assessments. So currently what happens is when vendors submit their evidence for risk assessments, some functional team has to open that evidence, review it. Is it valid? Is it complete? We think a lot of that can be automated through AI and machine learning, and that's what we're doing. We are automatically assessing the quality of the evidence being submitted, looking at, so that's just one example. The ability to automatically use AI to track adverse events, to bring it to the right stakeholders at the right time, that helps reduce the risk of the operations. So I would say in almost every aspect of vendor management, AI is going to play a role.
Some of the things like where AI and machine learning algorithms can really analyze vast amounts of data from various sources, maybe customer interactions, market trends, and partnership performance metrics. By leveraging these data, organizations can really gain valuable insights into partnership dynamics, identify emerging opportunities and risk, and make more informed strategic decision.
Mhm.
And these tools can really help in terms of predictive analytics, okay, which can really forecast the future partnership outcome based on historical data and current trends,
Mhm.
which enables organizations to anticipate potential challenges, optimize resource allocation, and proactively address issue before they escalate,
Mhm.
ultimately driving a better outcomes for strategic partnership.
Mhm.
So I would say overall AI and machine learning have the potential to have a strategic partnership management by enabling data-driven insights, predictive analytics, personalized recommendation, automation of routine tasks, I would say, which you touched base,
Yeah.
and enhanced risk mitigation.
So I have one more for Nipun. So security and data privacy are top concerns, right? So how can vendor portals ensure secure information exchange and address data ownership issues within strategic partnerships?
Yeah, so there are is an excellent point. So first of all, you have many vendors on the portal, so obviously they should see only data that's relevant for them, right? That's a given. The second is even within the enterprise, it turns out BUs can sometimes be little fiefdoms. So a business unit or a division may not want to share all their data with other divisions. It may be that they're dealing with suppliers which are specific to that division. It may be some other criteria. Maybe it's a regulated, like we're working with some insurance companies where one of the divisions is a bank, and for some regulatory reasons these have to be treated separately, the bank and the other components of the insurance division. So there may be genuine reasons why divisions need to keep their data in isolation. Yet at the same time, businesses benefit when they actually do consider vendors across their divisions. So absolutely, I would say data isolation as well as selective sharing is important in those cases. Yeah.
Joe, should vendor managers sort of focus on managing existing partners, or should they also be aware of upcoming business demand and actively support sourcing and identifying and selecting vendors? Like, what's the balance?
They should balance their focus between managing the existing partners and supporting sourcing efforts to actually identify and select vendors, right? Uh, Here's why, right? Managing existing partners is very important. Effective management of existing partners is very crucial as well for maintaining strong relationships, right? Maximizing the value derived from partnerships and ensuring alignment with organizational goals. Vendor managers should actively engage with current partners to understand their needs, address any issues or concerns, or identify opportunities for collaboration. And by nurturing these relationships, vendor managers can foster trust, loyalty, and mutual success over the long term. However, vendor managers should also play a proactive role in supporting sourcing activities to identify and select new vendors that align with the organization evolving business needs and strategic objectives, maybe involving staying informed about upcoming business demand or market trends and emerging technologies that may require new vendor partnership. Vendor managers can provide valuable insights and recommendation to sourcing teams based on their knowledge of existing partnership, industry expertise, reports, and understanding of organizational requirements. So, striking a balance between managing existing partners and supporting sourcing efforts, vendor managers can really contribute to a holistic approach, to the to vendor management that ensures continuity, innovation, competitiveness in meeting business demands. Centralizing demands can really offer several advantages from a solution perspective, I would say, right? Which really allows for a better coordination and optimizing of resources. It also enables a more strategic approach to resource allocation, ensuring that the resources are utilized efficiently to meet the organization overall objective. Okay, it also provides greater visibility into overall resource need and utilization across the organization. Okay, so I would say the visibility allows for better planning, forecasting, and decision making, as well as the identification of trends and opportunities for improvement, right? And it also facilitate standardization of processes, tools, and metrics is used for resource management. Okay, and this standardization promotes consistency or transparency and accountability, making it very easier to track performance and ensure compliance with the organization policies and standards. And I would say also organization can ensure that the resource allocation decisions are aligned with strategic priorities and business objectives, which helps prior, which helps in prioritizing initiative based on their strategic importance and allocate resource accordingly to maximize the impact and the value.
Joel, any thoughts with respect to how innovation is identified and realized in great partner relationships?
On having an open communication, right? Foster an environment of an open communication where both parties feel comfortable sharing ideas, insights, challenges. Encourage regular brainstorming sessions, feedback exchanges, and collaborative problem solving to spark innovation and creativity. Always aligning on the shared vision and common goals. For the partnership, which is an important component. Ensure that both the parties have a clear understanding of what success looks like and are committed to pursuing innovative solutions that drive mutual value and differentiation in the marketplace. Very important is embrace on co-creation mindset, where partners actively collaborate in developing new products, services, solutioning that really address market needs and capitalizing on emerging trends, leverage each other's strengths, expertise, and resources to co-innovate and bring innovative ideas to market, which are more faster and more effectively. Um, Very important is always stay curious and adaptable in response to changing market dynamic and customer needs. Invest in always ongoing learning and development initiatives to stay abreast of emerging technologies, industry trends, and best practices in innovation management. Be willing to pivot and evolve strategies based on new insights and feedback from stakeholders. And last but not least, always build a strong long-term relationship based on trust, mutual respect, and shared commitment to innovation. Invest in always, you need to invest in nurturing the partnership over time, cultivating a sense of partnership, identify, and loyalty that really fosters a collaborative and innovative spirit. So these are few practices I would say, which are which will help a great partnership, and it really fertile the ground for identifying or incubating and realizing innovative ideas that drive mutual success and competitive advantage in the marketplace.
I think all strategic
Yeah.
partnerships, but the fact that they are strategic, have to be innovative, right? And the innovation can manifest itself in maybe two ways, maybe more. One is, so if the partnerships are more run type, that means you're running infrastructure, you're running something, you're keeping the operation going. Then the innovation might come around as either improved quality, better responsiveness, lower cost of service. And you can build in metrics which capture that innovation, right? Because it's a run operation. Then there may be strategic partnerships where you're expecting build. That means you're jointly trying to come up with new digital solutions. You're trying to re-architect things. And in those build relationships, you need to empower stakeholders at all levels to be able to contribute ideas, right? So that there has to be a way to capture ideas. There has to be a way to assess those ideas periodically. There has to be a process. There should be a way to there should be funding to be able to actually work on some of those ideas, to prototype them, and maybe eventually implement them. right? And that process should be built in. So again, depending on the nature of the relationship, like if you have a very, if you're in IT infrastructure relationship and it's just you're transferring what you're doing to a vendor and you're expecting them to run it more efficiently, then build that into those SLAs and KPIs, so that you get the innovation by the provider themselves, bringing in AI and machine learning and automation in their own processes, right? So those are some of the ideas, Rohit.
Joel and Nipun, this has been a great discussion, quite insightful. And I'm sure that everyone who's watching this has learned something about vendor management and found great value in this. And a big thank you to you, Joel Gouder, for sharing your expertise with us here today. And thank you so much, Nipun, for adding in your insights to discussion. And a huge thank you to everyone who's tuned in to Enlighten's Excellence in Vendor Management series. So we'll be back soon with our next webinar on vendor management with a new industry expert. And make sure you follow us on LinkedIn for more information.